Hey guys, we're here today with an absolute beast of a car, the Range Rover Sport SVR. Just look at that thing in the orange. We're so excited to drive it. We've taken it to Somerset because we believe this car needs to be set free. Where is its true home? We're about to find out. First of all, let's go take a look around the car.
So, it's a Range Rover. It is huge as always again, but this is all about sport. It's over 2 tons, yet it's 0 to 60 in sub 5 seconds. 4.5 seconds they're saying.
First things first, I mean look, this is Madagascar orange satin paint at £3,500.
The light drops onto it and it just changes, like down here it's quite dark and up there it's almost a different colour altogether. It looks amazing.
I absolutely love this colour. I mean, just in this environment as well, it's really popping.
So what's list price in this? We've got to be talking over 100
So
grand.
no, the list price on this car is £97,780. This actual car we've got is around £113,000. Another option we have the adaptive headlights. Pretty cheap to be fair, £315. I'd expect that to be standard on a car of 100 grand personally. You've got these wheels are an extra.
22s?
How much are those, Ash?
They are only 415 quid to be fair. And I think they look alright.
For the wheels, right?
And I think I'm seeing here blue Brembos.
Personally wouldn't have put blue on it.
Blue and orange.
But
I'm a fan of that again.
I quite like it.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole point of the car is obviously it's out in your face, and sticking blue calipers on an orange car ticks that box.
Apart from the colour, look at those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that little bit where it sort of kicks out.
you've got another nice little subtle one that stops there.
I don't usually really like spoilers, but I really like this one.
It's got 4 exhausts on it. Look at the size of them. While we're back here a minute, let's not forget, this car's an SVR. It's going to sound incredible. So if you boys stand here, I'm going to go and start it and let's see what you think.
Get the valves open.
Yeah, they hear the electronic valves going.
Stop! He gets carried away sometimes.
We've had some loud cars in time, but this is antisocial loud. This is another league.
Should we see what's just made that noise?
Yeah.
Should we have a look?
Let's go and have a look.
Oh, it's warm. It's the 5 litre supercharged V8, pushing out 550 horsepower, 680 newton meters of torque.
Back to the options list, you can have another option under here, believe it or not, and it's not power related, all right? You can have this plastic engine cover in carbon fibre for £1,555.
Why? I mean, it's
You can see it.
yeah, you can spec an option somewhere you're never going to look really.
I'm just enjoying how warm it is.
Well, speaking of getting warm, should we head on in and have a look at the inside of the car?
Definitely.
Rear sports seats.
Yeah.
What have we got?
We've got a lot of bucket seats by the looks of it.
These from the back look racy. They look like they belong in a track car.
Well, that's for the harness points, isn't it? But you're never going to put any
I love
harnesses
them.
in here.
I think they look really nice visually, and I think this is the point about these seats. Aesthetically, they look great, but I mean, they're quite hard, aren't they?
Can I interrupt though? Because aesthetically they don't look great.
What, in your opinion?
Some muppets decided to put the SVR logo on the side of the seat. Why would you do that? Stick it up here in the middle.
Mr. OCD.
It would look so much
I don't think it looks that bad.
I don't like it personally, but look at this. This is a free option.
Is it? That's nice of them.
Full panoramic glass sunroof.
That looks great actually.
And also you got this suede headlight, which
That's
is
really nice.
Oh, yeah, I love
It?
this.
It's quite cool. They've got this 2-tone leather going on all over the car. It's not just like on the seats. They've got it on the door cards. They've got it.
the dash.
Yeah.
You've got a few SVR. I've got an SVR logo there.
SVR logo.
Got a fridge.
Yeah. No way.
At the moment, I've got my kettle chips in there.
This is actually a standard option as well.
Fridge,
Yeah.
Is it?
You got all this carbon everywhere
There's
as
a lot of
well.
carbon. It's all over here.
Everywhere. It's lovely.
What I do notice that's different from the old Range Rover we had is that thing.
Yeah, they've put the proper stick in. I think it's because it's sporty to allow you to use this and the paddles.
That's the difference between this and the Bull Fat Range Rover.
If I turn it on a minute, I'll show you. We'll show you it all lit up. We've got something in this called dynamic mode, which is so usually this is just off-roading stuff, but this here is called dynamic mode, which really makes this car come out. It basically stiffens the suspension up, makes it drive more sports car-like than Range Rover, like 4x4 like. And another thing that I absolutely love. Got this active exhaust button.
Yes.
And let's not forget, this car will go off-roading apparently. And you've still got all the off-roading modes, the mud ruts.
One thing there is a lot of in here speakers.
Oh yeah.
So we've got a Meridian reference sound system, 1,700 watts of power.
Oh, that's a lot.
Unfortunately, it's not 1,700 pounds. It's 4,140 pounds. I don't think you need it. You've got an exhaust at the back. That exhaust sounds epic. We've got the dual view screen here, where means the passenger and the driver can see different things. Is 625 quid. And also we've got the parking assistant features as well. It'll parallel park for you, day park for you. A £900 option, which I do actually think is worth it. Oh. So let's talk about this steering wheel quickly. So obviously, being an SVR, I would have preferred maybe a slightly smaller, sportier steering wheel. This is pretty big and bulky. It doesn't look very sporty. So you've got these beautiful bucket seats, and you've got this big Range Rover wheel. After coming from the Alpha, I know we're comparing apples and peaches here.
A well-known phrase.
What is it? Apples and pears. Anyway, peaches. Coming from the Alpha, obviously we were spoilt with those lovely big paddle shifts, which I fell in love with, and it's a shame that other car manufacturers aren't joining them. Because I know this isn't that car, but they're just a bit pony, aren't they? Right then, so we've looked around the outside, we've looked around the inside. The weather looks like it's improving, which is good. So there's only one thing left to do, and that's drive it.
There is also one place nearby here that would be the perfect auditorium for really getting to grips with the sound of this car, Cheddar Gorge. So it's freezing, but we've got the windows down because it's Ash's first drive.
Oh, I'll have the roof down as well if we're doing that.
Oh no.
Covered in water, you wally.
It'd be rude not to.
I think it's rude.
It's rude either way, mate.
Yeah. How are you in the middle, Mark?
We'll find out in a minute. I'm slightly concerned.
Oh no! What are you doing, Ash? Oh, you absolute bellend.
Told you do that.
Sorry, chaps. Valves are open, sports mode's engaged, and dynamic. Even though it's that nice subtle burp.
Burbling, isn't it?
And then.
Properly lifts up, doesn't it?
Oh, it's so much better up the front. Oh my god, it's so much better up the front. That's pacey. Savage.
I think the middle seat as well, because you get both exhausts on either side of you.
It's so good.
So loud on the back.
That's what I'm thinking.
You're sick on it. God, every time you put your foot down, it's just satisfaction.
Well, this is going to be really well insulated as well.
Yeah.
Outside it must be brutal.
I'm loving this. I thought it was going to be a lot more robust than this.
I hate this. It's horrible back here.
How are you feeling, Mark?
I'm fine.
It's fucking back here. We're fucking thrown everywhere.
I've scared the boys.
Yeah.
We've got some white faces back in there.
3 miles per gallon.
What?
Oh my god. 1 mpg currently. It's going to, hasn't it? We've got loads of weight and a stupid powerful engine.
It's the pickup on it is
So responsive.
brutal though. That's a weapon.
There's a gallon.
That is incredible from a car this size.
So Cheddar Gorge, the ultimate auditorium. Here we are. How does this thing sound?
Oh, it's just a little cheeky bit.
What's your about this action?
Well, first impressions on the inside, pretty bloody loud. We want to see what it's like on the outside, so me and Rupert are going to get out and do some drive-bys. That is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the perfect place to listen to it, really, isn't it?
Big orange beast roaming around Cheddar Gorge.
I don't think I've ever heard a V8 quite like that in a road car. It's something else.
I love it because we're not even breaking the speed
No,
limit.
this is it. It's just accelerating from 0 to 20 miles an hour, miles on the speed limit, but it sounds like you're doing 120 miles an hour.
It's literally all or nothing.
Yeah.
There's no in between. There's no eco mode on this thing. You just
Even when you shut the flaps on the exhaust, it's not quiet.
Onwards down to Exmoor, find some nice sneaky driving roads, test out the handling on this beast. Let's go. Right, we have come across a bit of an issue. Right now we should be in Exmoor. Instead, we're somewhere in Somerset in some pay and display car park with a major fatal issue.
This is our fatal issue. Unfortunately, this tyre is flat, and nowhere in the whole southwest of England has this tyre in stock. We can't fix it. We can't drive it.
And of course, what we'd like to be doing right now is preparing for day 2. But unfortunately, what we're going to have to do is pray and hope that we can get this car back soon, next week or next year, even a couple of months' time. Until then, we're going to have to sign off. Very, very gutted. Hope to see you in the next clip with a brand new tyre. If not, thanks for watching this far.
Oh, it's been a while. It's been a while, Rob.
she's back.
Back in our possession.
Oh yeah.
Sounds just as filthy, doesn't it? I'm not even accelerating, listen to it.
Popping.
It's just
Dumping petrol out of the exhaust pipes.
20 miles an hour with no throttle application.
Carriageway. Yeah, still quite quick.
It's bloody quick, isn't it?
This is such an obnoxious car,
Yeah.
but it's so good.
Right, Rob, we are in quite quaint little Somerset town called Wells. Reason for being here? Does this thing stick out like a sore thumb, or can you sort of fit it into normal life and not look like a complete...
Blend in without
Idiot.
looking completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
So busy.
It's almost embarrassing. It really is. So we've tried to be subtle in this car, and even driving it like slowly, it doesn't happen. It just shouts, look at me regardless, so we're going to give it what it wants. So we're now out of town, and we're back onto the nice winding country roads, heading towards Exmoor. And we were quite intrigued to see what happened to our kind of average MPG really while bumbling around town, because for a lot of time these cars are actually found not out in the countryside, and a lot of times in cities and in towns. So what's it saying now? What we got?
It's
That's
17
MPGs.
Yeah, 17.1.
Yeah, so for this, it actually doesn't see the town driving doesn't seem to have affected it too badly. So
Yeah! Oh, I've missed you. I've missed this SVR. It's so beautiful.
here comes the noise. They should have just called it the noise. This is the one of very few cars where we've been in it and we never turn on the radio or play music because you just don't need to.
Do you know what? I'm glad we're taking this down to Exmoor. I mean, the whole trip is kind of based on we see these cars in and around the city, but is that its actual true natural habitat? And I don't think it is. Even already I can draw that conclusion, because for the last 20 minutes I've been driving around towns getting really frustrated that I can't actually open this up.
Yeah. We're using probably about 3% of its capabilities at the moment.
Yeah, so there's that frustration, and then also I'm paying through the arse for it as well.
Yep.
I was just sitting here, still not going very fast, being boring in this car, so I was just sitting there listening to the engine note, because no matter how fast you're going or how slow you're going, it sounds amazing. Interesting point, they actually designed this sound with sound engineers using research that showed what sort of precise note creates an emotional response. You know that?
And it turns out after all that scientific research, the louder the better.
Yeah.
That's what they came down to.
Still on the way down to Exmoor. The roads are getting a little bit more interesting now. So let's talk about comfort. How are we feeling?
Pretty good, to be honest. The seats are obviously more racery because of the style of the car, but it's a lovely driving position. They hug you really well as well.
Back here, you've got, I think, the most sporty-looking rear seats I've ever seen in a car. They're basically bucket seats, effectively, in these two seats, and they're actually still quite soft and quite They are supportive.
Are they that comfortable though? We have been in the car all day, and I don't know if they necessarily are that comfy, mate.
I think they're all right.
I'm not sure.
Right,
What's the issue with them? They're bucket seats.
They're
and
quite
pretty
solid,
hard.
aren't they? They're pretty
I
solid.
wouldn't say they're that soft.
The front ones, or
No,
the back
the back ones as well.
I think they're softer than the front ones.
Yeah.
There's not as much like padding in the front ones.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think the reason why they're in here is because we know the performance the car's got, and it's giving it the opportunity for the passengers to have maybe a little bit more support going around the corners. If it's like completely flat back here,
Do we think the interior's been designed to be a nice place to be, to spend a lot of time in?
there's leather everywhere. There's Alcantara and suede up on the headlining. The panoramic roof is really nice. Adds a lot of light into it.
You got headphones if you want to watch TV. Actually, I've just found something.
They don't.
Luxury leather cleaner.
There you go. We're undecided on how comfortable the seats really are. The leather is very soft.
I mean, it's basically like a luxury lounge in here, isn't it? Really, like a car version of it.
I think one thing that we are being treated to this weekend is having the Discovery as our follow car, and comparing the seats one to the other. The Discovery seats are quite a lot softer, and that's probably where you're saying, are they that comfortable back here? I think in a one-off comparison against nothing else, you would say they're pretty good. So, and here we find two absolute Asbos.
Mate, get Radio 1 on. You hear the side panels.
David Brent's rocks up again.
Dan dancing back.
That's brilliant.
David Brent, you alright?
Yeah, that's great, mate.
Behind the scenes with Guys That Drive. Day 2 in the SVR, and we are off on the hunt for some twisty roads, and we've got a little shortcut, I think Pete's showing us a shortcut which we're off.
He isn't a defender, so see, I'm a little bit nervous about this.
Right then, we're off to find this shortcut.
He's turning off. This must be it. Hang on a sec.
We're on the beginning of his shortcut by the looks of it. Should we send the disco in front?
I think we better get that disco in front, mate.
Ash is on the same wavelength. Grass, gravel, snow, mud and ruts.
Mud and ruts. When he said shortcut, I didn't think he meant mud track.
Come and join the opulence of the SVR. Literally going straight across Exmoor. It seems to be clearing up a bit in the loosest sense, so that we can see more now.
Range Rover SVR is route and the in-car.
Trying to avoid the gorse on the paint. What we're finding with this is it feels more than capable, but it just, you don't know, you just feel a little bit on edge because you know that the paint's so expensive and the
whole thing is.
Yeah, it's just, we're going up this narrow gully at the moment, and I don't know, I think I'd probably prefer to be in there. Keep the stones away from the wheels, keep the gorse away from the paint.
I wonder how many of these things have actually done something like it. Not many.
I reckon there's a few, but yeah, like talking a handful at best. Tell you what though, if you did have the need to go off-road fairly regularly, and also didn't want to give up the ability to enjoy a nice twisty road, this thing, I reckon, is probably almost in a class of its own in that respect.
There can't be much else.
You've got a few hardcore ones, but there's not much else that will do this sort of stuff. Quick shortcut across the moors then, back onto the roads almost. The car's probably going to be a bit happier for it.
Yeah.
I know I will be.
Back on the road. think it's had its time off on a dirt track, hasn't it? It's kind of good to see it there, but really what it's been built for, is it? Even though it can do it.
It feels a bit more at home on tarmac, doesn't it?
I mean, you can't do this on that sort of track, can you?
And
That,
I think you might be in a field pretty quick if you did.
that is why we have this car.
It's gonna go so Big puddle and cameraman might not necessarily go together.
We told him about 3 times to get out of the way. So we're arriving in Lynmouth, and this is Handling Road country. We're going to talk about what this car is really like on these twisty roads, and to be honest, this is why we came down to Exmoor, isn't it?
So, we are finally on the road that we've been waiting to drive this whole weekend.
It's the whole point of the trip, really.
It is, and we're here now. Manual mode.
Hang on. Exhaust pipes on.
Exhaust pipes on, dynamic driving, and we're away. And it just feels like this is what we've been looking for.
See, this is how it should be driven on the hill. It's just reverberating, isn't it, around the
Yeah.
And that's one of these things that you can find with this car. Like, once you got on a stretch of road that just flows, the weight doesn't matter. It doesn't have any issues with its enormous mass because it's so well set up.
And one question we want to answer is, does it throw you back in your seat? Remember, we're in a 4x4 here. Yes.
Yeah, I think it does that one, doesn't it? How does it feel as a bigger car being driven in a way that you'd imagine it should be a sports car? And I think it really does hide its mass so well.
Yeah, how does it take a corner? Is there any wallow on it? Because in that disco,
It really does wallow.
no way you could do this.
This is something else, really.
Would you believe that? As soon as we actually come up to film these handling roads, the weather's properly come in. We're in full-on cloud at the moment, and we've been trying to drive through it, but it's just too wet. There's not enough visibility, so we have to drop down again. So we're towards the end of our trip now, lads. One final question: where does the SVR belong?
I think it belongs everywhere.
Everywhere is what I was thinking.
It belongs in London because it's so in your face and shouty with all the roads anyway, but it is also a driver's car.
It really is. And round here, it just works. It really works, doesn't it?
I mean, Exmoor is the perfect playground. You've got amazing roads to unleash all that horsepower, but at the same time, seeing that striking orange in the countryside like this just looks epic, and that's all part of the enjoyment. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Let us know what you want to see in the comments below in the future. We've got lots coming up. We've got some more off-roading adventures, and we've got some stuff in the Discovery. Stay tuned. See you soon.
Cheers.